make 190.
Yeah.
Anthony Joshua's gigantic.
So big.
He's so big. He's so much bigger. So, of course, like his punch that he knocks Tyron Woodley out cold with, Joshua just eats it.
Yeah.
As Jake felt his punching power, those doubts AJ seeded in his mind were surely consuming Jake's inner monologue, because what was occurring in the fight validated what AJ had said.
I do think it is a freak show, if I'm honest. I also think it's dangerous. I'm sat here as a boxing promoter and I see what goes on with the medicals before and after fights and how dangerous the sport is. And I saw Callum Simpson, the fight should have been stopped way before it was.
Joe Rogan goes off on Anthony Joshua after Jake Paul suffered a career-threatening knockout. He explains that Joshua's size and power are overwhelming, calling him absolutely gigantic. Rogan describes how Joshua landed a massive right-hand punch, hitting with full force, which broke Jake Paul's jaw in two. He emphasizes the sheer difference in strength and physicality, noting that facing someone of Joshua's stature is a completely different challenge.
I give Jake so much credit for stepping into that ring.
Bro, he got hit with a bomb, a right-hand bomb.
When he got hit with that too, I don't know if enough has been made of the fact that, I mean, it was absolutely devastating. But the fact that he had awareness.
Joe Rogan talks about how severely Jake Paul got hurt in his recent fight, highlighting that he lost teeth and took devastating blows. He points out that Jake is now struggling to eat properly due to the injuries, showing just how serious the damage can be. Rogan warns that repeated mismatched fights like this could potentially end Jake's career, stressing the long-term risks of facing opponents far bigger or stronger than him. He criticizes the idea of taking unnecessary risks for entertainment or record padding, and urges Jake to rethink future matchups to protect his health and longevity in the sport.
The fact that Anthony Joshua is going to connect with a bomb and breaks his jaw in two places.
Yeah.
And he's fucked. His jaw's wired shut now. He lost teeth.
See, I mean, he made it to the 6th round.
Yeah.
Pretty wild.
Did they put your teeth back in when they pop out like that, or are they gone forever?
I don't know. But it's just wired shut for like 6 weeks now.
Yeah. You got to eat nothing but protein shakes. Bro.
Oof.
Look, it's a crazy world. The thing is that I would...
Psychologist Derek Van Schick emphasizes the serious risk Jake Paul faced in his matchup against Anthony Joshua, pointing out that the injuries sustained were far from minor. He explains that Joshua's power and precision in the ring created an extremely dangerous environment for Paul, highlighting a particularly devastating right-hand punch that fractured Jake's lower jaw in two places. Van Shank notes that such an injury not only causes immediate pain and functional issues like difficulty eating, but also carries long-term consequences for a fighter's career. He stresses that stepping into the ring with a larger, more experienced opponent exponentially increases the potential for catastrophic damage. According to Van Schick, this fight serves as a clear example of how mismatched bouts, while entertaining for audiences, can push athletes into life-altering situations, underscoring the importance of proper preparation, caution, and respect for the sport's inherent dangers.
The number of punches he threw, and also aim a little lower to land that clean right-hand punch on the side of Jake's face, which fractured his lower jaw, still hospitalizing Jake Paul, but not actually killing him.
If Anthony Joshua won, Anthony killed this guy. Rolls-Royce, Fiat.
The variety of emotions we see in the final moments of the fight are fascinating. AJ finally corners Jake, hits him with a quick left-hand jab to the body, which lowers his guard, opening up a clean right-hand shot to the head. You can see AJ smile there when he sees Jake had fallen into his trap and knows that he's about to finish him off.
And then you just keep exploiting. Some people give up. Some people get knocked out.
Jake's body language and facial expressions when he knows it's all over for him is a little sad as he whimpers in the corner with that scared, nauseous look on his face, realizing this may be his final moment on Earth.
If I get hit with that shot, I'm screwed. I don't believe he's going to hit me with those shots.
You gonna hit him with that?
100%. And land that right hand that he says is my only weapon.
If you look at Jake's eyes and face, he's pleading for mercy to AJ as if he's a child. Please don't do this.
Some people get knocked out.
It's actually quite surreal that the moment many of us were concerned what happened to Jake actually happened in real life.
If Jake Paul is left, up against the ropes with Anthony Joshua, unloading on him, could be the end for him, literally. It could be his last day on Earth.
Jake Paul Paul was helplessly exhausted, badly beaten, and cornered where AJ could have unloaded a flurry of clean punches on Jake. When he takes that clean right shot from AJ, breaking his jaw in 2 places, and then falls to the ground.
And his chin served on a platter, and look at Jake Paul's face. He knew it right away. He said, woo!
Some wondered why Jake had that
Ben Shalom delivers a sharp critique of the Anthony Joshua versus Jake Paul fight, describing it as a dangerous spectacle that went too far. He argues that unlike some crossover events which can be treated as entertainment, this fight carried real physical risks that were ignored. Shalom points out that the bout was primarily motivated by money, prioritizing profit over fighter safety. He also criticizes the officials for not stopping the fight when it should have been halted, allowing it to continue to a point where serious injury became almost inevitable. According to Shalom, pushing fighters under these conditions crosses a line, turning what should be a regulated sport into a potentially catastrophic event. The fight serves as a warning about prioritizing spectacle and earnings over health and safety in boxing.
What worldview, Ben, on the Jake Paul, Anthony Joshua circumstance? I mean, a lot of people talking about the discredit it does to boxing. I don't put it in the category of boxing. I put it in the category of entertainment, and Anthony Joshua being introduced to America as a media star. What's your overall view of what it does or doesn't do for boxing? Jake Paul being licensed in a fight that many people think that he shouldn't have been licensed to fight, in a commission that often does that. As a promoter, do you think it's a bad look for boxing, or are you thinking it doesn't really matter? It's not really what boxing's about.
I usually and have said in the past that things can be things, you've got to take it for what they are. But in this occasion, I do think it is a freak show, if I'm honest. I also think it's dangerous. I'm sat here as a boxing promoter, and I see what goes on with the medicals before and after fights and how dangerous the sport is. And I saw Callum Simpson. The fight should have been stopped way before it was, but was in trouble on Saturday night. It's all a bit of fun, and it's all a money grab until someone gets seriously hurt, seriously damaged, and then the whole sport comes into disrepute. For me, it makes a mockery of the sport of boxing. For me, it's no one in the industry wants to talk badly about it because everyone's lined, the pockets are getting lined, and when you look at that, and kids will look at that, and fans will look at that, and sponsors will look at that and think that that is boxing. As I say, we're one punch away from something serious, and yeah, it's
Ben, on the flip side of that argument, mate, you will tell me that you knew that Chris Eubank wasn't right to go into that fight.
No, but Simon, let's be completely honest, right? Whatever you want to say about that fight, these are 2 experienced professional fighters. Chris Eubank Jr. has been in fights previously in his career where he's not been 100% for.
Jake Paul faced a serious challenge when he went up against a much larger and taller Anthony Joshua. During the fight, he repeatedly went down to a knee, putting himself at significant risk. Every time he fell, there was a real danger of ligament damage or long-term injury, similar to what happened to Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. in his bout with Sergio Martinez. These moments highlighted just how risky it was for Paul to take on someone of Joshua's size and experience, and underscored the physical toll of facing an opponent of that magnitude.
In there with a bigger, taller person, so keep taking the knee. First of all, your knee, you can get ligament damage. Remember when Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. was losing every round to Sergio Martinez, and then Martinez fell to the ground kind of weird? He messed up his knee. He was never the same fighter. So you got a broken jaw, but you could have tore ligaments in your knee by having a 260-pound man, fall on top of you because you keep making it sloppy and falling around and spilling about. And even if you don't like rupture something or tear a ligament or whatever, it's not really much better than someone leaning on you. Do you know how much energy you exert by having to be 220 pounds or whatever, 216, and keep picking yourself back up? Like, I seen the thing, I didn't count myself, but it said there were 12 or 13, maybe 14 times that Jake Paul was on the canvas. Horrible strategy. And Netflix, I don't even see how they would like that. And for me, this generation they're chopped, bro. Jake Paul did all this, and y'all want me to give a bunch of credit. Jake Paul did all this talking about Joshua getting knocked out. You did whatever to sell the fight. But you didn't make good. That doesn't make you look good when you talk crazy and talk spicy, and then you have no intentions of fulfilling that. And then you got the Jake Paul fans and the Andrew Tate fans, because they lost kind of back to back, where they're trying their hardest to turn this into some inspirational story. Like, oh, as long as